Right. Guys, is this working? Right. Guys, is this working? Yeah, it is working. It's working.
There we go.
Freaking finally. We chatted all that and it's gone. It's gone. Oh my goodness. You know, I hate this new PlayStation. I really hate it. It really screws up everything. So basically the whole of the Q4 has gone out the window. We will be saying goodbye to Hydra, Pint-Sized Geezer and Frenzy. Hydra only because he crashed out. Pint-Sized Geezer just unable to get that 117.3 time. Frenzy decided to retire without making it. Okay. Absolutely apologise to everybody, and apologise more so to Abyss because it means that we're going to have this little chat that we just had before over again at some point. So we'll just end up bring up the same point. So, right, Abyss, do you want to go through your top three again? Who you believe?
Yep, for the top step of the podium this week in Imola, I reckon it will be another DXT Moyland win to further lengthen his championship position. He's got an absolutely massive lead in the standings from the last time I checked. 149 points compared to DXT Singh's 83, which is quite a margin. For the second spot on that podium, I reckon TRT Dara can pull it together, keep it near to Moyland, and for that final step of the podium, I reckon it will be Lewis the Beaker to get that 2 in a row from last week in Britain.
Absolutely fantastic. Me personally, I think it's going to be non-human first. I've just got belief in the Scottish guy. I do think he's got it in him to pull it off. The whole circuit does feel a bit like a non-human circuit. Moyland for second, and I'm going to give it to Dara for third if Dara keeps himself out of trouble. Obviously, special mentions to drivers such as Lewis the Beaker and DXT Anthony, along with Johnny Stokes, who is capable of getting those podiums. So it'd be quite interesting to see whether they can actually step up and cause a bit of a headache for some drivers. We got Dara in the chat saying, "Yup, guys, how's she cutting?" Well, I'm not going to make any comments about that. I'm going to keep my tongue out. I'm going to keep my words plain and safe, because I could really take that to whole new levels. So we're going into Q2. We've got 14 drivers, only 10 spots left for Q3. This is where the pits and the tyre strategy does come into hand. So be interesting to see what tyres people choose. Right, Abyss, if you were driving it, what would your tyre strategy be?
I'm not really the best on those strategies, but to be honest, I'd probably end up qualifying on the softs, and then hope, because this track I've seen before produces quite a few safety cars, so I'd probably just hope for the safety car, maybe up on the hards and mediums depending on what lap that safety car does come out, and then cruise to the end on those.
Absolutely fair analysis. Personally, I know the tyre strategy for this circuit is a medium to soft is the fastest strategy. But as you said, this circuit does bring out a safety car or two. So the soft tyre will be the option you should pick, because you know there's going to be a safety car within the first 8 laps. So you get those softs on, burn out as much as you can. Get forward, build up a few places, quick change to mediums, and see how you go from there. With a later safety car, you can always switch back to the extra soft tyres and push for a soft finish. But yeah, hard tyres are a no-go. I'd stay away from them. There's only very few circuits to hold hards well, and they are Monaco, Hungary, they do well for, and Baku is a strange one. They can do well for the hard tyres. Sochi. So there's 4 circuits that I'll lead the hards for. Everywhere else, mediums and softs would be my choice. Apparently we got, it says raining for the race at 45 minutes, so right near the end, I believe that would be. But yeah. So, I know I asked you this here before, but obviously the audio was not working properly. What's your thoughts of this track?
Me personally, I'm a really, really big fan of this track. I absolutely love the fast corners, slow corners, the overtaking opportunities. It creates excitement almost everywhere. Famous Tamburello and the Aquila Minerale adds really the history of this track, and of course the tragedies we've also seen. But even in real life produces brilliant races, as seen in 2021 and even 2020, both being brilliant races. Yeah,
absolutely. But yeah, like biggest thing for me was watching George Russell crashing out on both of them when he was at both times was in good position for points. So yeah, be quite interesting to see how these go. So we've got Sesvin, who's put a 115.5, Moyland a 115.9, and Hepburn or a 116.3, all on the soft tyre. I think Mrs. Carr on a 117.9, but we know she can get that down a lot further than that. I hope to see Mrs. Carr below 117 by the end of this Q2 session. Right. So you mentioned about the history of the circuit. It's one of those. It's like I think that goes with all the Italian circuits that we ever see in F1. They've all got deep history roots. It just makes Italy one of the best circuits to go to, best countries to go to for historic racing. And yeah, Tamburello is famous mainly for the fact that it took out 2 drivers in one weekend. Unfortunately, losing one of the best drivers ever to grace the F1 grid, Ayrton Senna. There is a statue of Ayrton Senna just outside the entrance, as well as down near on the other side of the river from the circuit, over from Tamburello. So it's a lot's gone on in a lot in the San Marino Grand Prix in the past. But yeah,
you mentioned there the rich history Italian tracks have. It's an absolutely stunning country for tracks. You've got obviously Formula 1's Imola and Monza, but even if you branch out to other motorsports, they've got Vallelunga, they've got Mugello, even Fiorano as well. Ferrari's test track. It's an absolutely brilliant country for racing.
It really is. It makes me I'm a bit surprised. Given the fact that they're steeped in history with motorsport and the fantastic circuits that Italy hosts, really, I'm surprised we don't have many more F1 teams based in Italy. Most of them are based in England near Silverstone. So it's a bit of a shock really for that, but it just shows why Ferrari is such a big team for Italy. Passion of the fans behind them. It is one of my dreams to actually go to an Italian F1 Grand Prix, whether it's Imola, Monza, or if they go back to Mugello. You just want to go. I just want to experience the Tifosi celebrations.
Yeah, I heard an Italian person talking about Ferrari, and they were saying in Italy Ferrari isn't a team but a religion, as literally it's got a huge fan base, and even the Tifosi really they're a staple of F1, and whenever you think of Ferrari you instantly think of the Tifosi and the passion behind the team and the support that the team have.
Yeah, it's definitely a religion. They take it more passionately than what most Englishmen take to football. So it's a whole new level, isn't it? It is because it's the only main thing. If you get me, it's the one thing they can't be beaten on. There's Ferrari as being one of the top teams in the world since F1 began. Unfortunately, they can't bolster for being the first team to ever step foot on an F1 grid, because that actually belongs to Alfa Romeo. We got a little update from Herbo saying Moyland is actually on mediums, not on softs. So that time, if it's on mediums, not soft, so we might have a little bit of a technical glitch on this side. But Lewis Dabika, 1:15.9.07 on mediums, is the fastest medium setter. Quite interesting. But yeah, I honestly, I'm agreeing. I'm really thinking that the safety car is going to be the one thing that's going to ruin these people putting the effort in with the medium tyres. So Mrs. Carl on a 117.2, and she's back out again on a fresh set of soft tyres. Non-human on the soft tyres, 1:14.9. Time's coming down so much with that driver. It's gonna be a very interesting race indeed, isn't it, Abyss? And I think I've lost Abyss.
Jeez, apologies there.
No worries. I was wondering where you went there. It's like, well, I think we've lost him. Yeah, I was just commenting about non-human's time. He's actually put a 1:14.9, which is a phenomenal time here. The fact that we're going to have a very interesting race, because I think Moylan's race pace is very close to his qualifying pace. And everybody knows that qualifying you are a bit quicker than you are racing. So it's going to be interesting to see how it goes between non-human Moyland and drivers such Sesvin is another driver that I think can keep up there, along with Lewis de Beeker. Maybe DXD Sausage might actually pull one out and get up there. So we've got Darwin O's on that lap. Darwin's going to be the one I'm going to be interested in now. Let's we'll do a jump on board with him. As he's about to start his fast lap. There we go. Really hammers down into the towards the very anti-Tamburello. The left-right chicane, followed by a left-hander coming out of Tamburello. Takes that quite nicely. Uses as much track as he is willing to. Into the very anti-Villeneuve. His left-right sweeper. Into the slowest corner of the circuit of Toza. Toza doesn't hit the apex. Loses a little bit of time there without not hitting that apex. Can't carry as much speed if you don't hit the apex. Heading into Peratella leading onto the downhill section into Acqua Minerale with double apex turn. Super mad, another little kink, and up towards very anti-Alta. A very sharp, very short chicane, right left. And he slides out coming out of there. He's lost quite a bit of time doing that. So we'll see how that affects him when it comes down to his qualifying time around Ravazza. Back onto the home straight. Let's see what his time is. How does those small minor mistakes affect him? A 1:16.2. So that really hampered him. Those mistakes really made him suffer over a second.
Yeah, Dara will really have to pick it up and kind of squash down on those mistakes if he wants to start in a good position for the race. As you said, yeah, big slide out of the Variante Alta. Very hard chicane actually.
Yeah, it's really tough, but Dara should be able to take that corner swiftly. We know he's got the talent to do it. I think he might have pushed a bit too hard and let the car slide. But he done a schoolboy mistake for someone of his talent down at Tosa as well. Losing a big chunk of time there. It's not like Dara to be making these kind of mistakes. When he makes mistakes, they're only massive mistakes and he ends up crashing into a wall or something afterwards. But yeah, was expecting him to be quicker than this. Let's see if he can recover, go again, really, because this is his last chance. Or is he's going in the pits. I think he believes he might be safe enough, but Herbert really needs to pull up his socks. He's got beat by Mrs. Carl. And he got a nice toe from another driver. I do believe that was DXT Anthony that was helping him out. Again, another driver really wide at Tosa. Is Tosa really that hard to take?
I reckon drivers are kind of underestimating the corner a little bit, braking a small bit too late. You really do need to clip that apex there to gain yourself a bit of time.
I tell you what, that was a nice line from Herbo going through the very the Aqua Minerale, but he does invalidate it on the exit, which means he's got DXT Anthony line himself up. I do think this is a bit of cohesion to help Herbo get into Q3. DXT Anthony really helping out his fellow DXT member to do it. Would you call this cheating because they're not part of the same team?
Well, I mean, you can also trace that back to Russia 2021 when Bottas gave Verstappen that huge slipstream.
Yeah. That is true. I tell you what, that was a very nice Tamburello take by Herbo. Let's see if he's got it in him to actually do any better. As we do finish up now, we've got a few drivers still out. We've got Nilma and Herbo sit on a fast lap. We've got DXT Anthony, who's again Tosa again. Really, really wide there, Herbo. You are losing a big chunk of time at that corner. Very, very nicely done there by Herbo. Very clean. Not the best line. It doesn't use as much track as he's daring to, but he's got through it. Very nicely through Alta. Down to Vivata for the last few corners. Does he have it in him to get himself into P10 at least and knock Dara out of Q3? He does, he gets P9. Absolutely phenomenal chance there. Dara's not going to be happy with himself.
That is huge from Dara.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if he expected to be in or what was running through his head, because even if he went on another lap on his tyres, he had 100% DRS. Even if he went on another lap, I'm definitely sure he could have at least improved by a few tenths and maybe move up a few positions.
Yeah, he just needed to move up one more place really to be safe, and he just didn't get there. So, not human, shown how it's done. DXT Anthony, Sesvin, Johnny Stokes, Nilma, Lewis Speaker, Scotty Harris, Moylan down at 8th. That's definitely a medium tyre time, that is. Herbo in 9th, we've got Hepburn in 10th. We're saying goodbye to Dara, Speedy, DXT Matty, and Mrs. Carl. Yeah, quite impressive by some of the abilities for some of these drivers. So it's kind of like making me question, right, are we going to see some of these drivers sitting on the podium? Like, Sesvin's up there with DXT Anthony. That's going to be quite interesting. He did perform really well back in Australia, but made a few mistakes. So, yeah, it'll be interesting. Now, Q3, I'm definitely got to back Non-Human for being the fastest again. The guy's had on blistering pace, but yeah, it'll be quite interesting to see how he does with battling Moyland in the race.
But yeah, lots of things to look out for actually for the race. We definitely will have to monitor Dara, as he obviously will try and make a good old climb up the grid from that P11. Non-Human showing some very good pace there in the first 2 qualifying sessions. Moyland as well, another talking point, opting for the mediums. So yeah, there is a lot of talking points and kind of points of interest there from the first 2 parts of qualifying, but on to Q3 now. Let's see if we can get the fastest lap.
Yeah, so all these drivers are navigating a circuit that is 4.9 kilometers. That's 3.05 miles, 19 turns. It's actually a difficulty scale 2, only because of the couple of chicanes. But in general, it's actually quite an easy circuit. Scale goes from 1 being really easy, such as Silverstone, 5 being very technical, which is Monaco. So this, do you think that's right on the scale, right for the scale on a 2 for difficulty?
Yeah, as you said there, it is, to be honest, for me, quite an easy track. Definitely not as technical and difficult as other tracks, but I reckon 2 is a fair rating for Imola.
Yeah. See, if it's Mugello gets a 3, which I thought was quite weird because Mugello's quite smooth. There's no chicanes, but I think it's the fact that Imola is quite a wide track at points. Mugello is very narrow all the way around it.
I feel maybe Mugello's long sweeping corners might add a bit of difficulty to it, as they would be harder to maybe even navigate than some corners where you'd actually require more braking power for. But even, to be honest, for me, Mugello would be about the same level as Imola.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the rating goes from a website called Race Fans. So they've rated these circuits out of difficulty. Circuits that have not been rated are ones that have never have been put on an F1 calendar but never raced, such as
I think, have we lost you? I'm not sure. It just sounded like it cut off. Yeah, I think we've lost you there, Ferret.
hello. Am I back?
Yeah, there you go. There we go.
Sorry, I was just looking at Sesvin. Sesvin put a 1:14.9. That's a phenomenal time, really.
Yeah, that's a very nice time for a banker lap.
Well, that's very close to what Non-Hugh was putting in last session. Very close indeed, because Moylan's got a 1:15.006. Hepburn 1:15.6. So these times are a lot quicker. Hepburn with a right. So we've got a couple of people saying that Dara was on mediums, not softs. So that explains why he was down as far as he was. But he did make those 2 mistakes as well. Yeah, non-human confirmed that. Hepburn going, non-human really isn't human with these times. So, yeah. The non-human. It's like AI on 110. Oh, who's off? Who's off? It was Scotty Harris. Scotty Harris went off at Tamburello. Non-human 1:14.4, half a second faster than Sesvin.
Non-human really is on form tonight.
Yeah,
Jeez, I wonder what he had in his dinner.
Yeah, he's had these Weetabix today. absolutely brilliant. I can't. I'll be honest. I thought it was going to be closer on times, but man, I'm glad I was backing him from the beginning.
You've,
uh,
yeah,
I,
you've got that right.
yeah, I could just see it was a non-human circuit. Could see it. I don't. You know what the thing is? I think he's one of these drivers. You ask him how much practice you put in, he goes, "Oh yeah, I've done a few laps just to get into it, but that's about it." I don't think he actually puts in a lot of practice either. I think he's just naturally talented.
Yeah, he's a very talented driver, really, and honestly,
Oh,
he's really putting up the heat in this qualifying session. The rest of them really need to step up if they're even gonna compete with the times he's putting in right now.
so we got Sesvin saying he is crazy. Big salty seawater going non-human starting to piss me off off now. So laughing face at the end. So yeah, non-human really rubbing people up the wrong way. Which is, I'll be honest, it's a joy to see. It's a joy to see a driver get into that kind of a scale. But like, imagine if non-human was able to put this ability on every circuit he went to. He would be unstoppable. He'd be up there with Moyland on the standings, guaranteed.
Yeah, like this absolutely crazy times that he's putting in.
Uh,
Like that's just utter domination out there right now.
yeah, it's like it reminds me of 2009 when Braun took the cars up for the first time. Absolutely smashed it, and all the other teams had to work overtime to try and make up a bit of that difference.
Like I can only imagine being a Ferrari or McLaren mechanic after being quite successful those past few years and just seeing this completely new team bought for a single British pound being multiple tenths, even a second quicker than you in some places. It must have been absolutely astounding.
I'd be more pissed off to be Ferrari. You go, oh, yeah, we let Ross Brawn go, and he buys this team and pulls out all this. You can see why he is now in charge of, like, he's up there with his top brass in the FIA. He's the reason why we've got these new regulations going the way we have.
Yeah, definitely.
He's going to be he's the one person I believe that's going to bring excitement back to F1, because we kind of lost it. Oh, Moylan slides it out a little bit there. I think he might have to go round again because I think he's lost a big chunk of time. So he gets 14.6, but I reckon he could have got a bit more out of that. He's got himself up there battling with the non-human times, and he knows he could do better. So he's going to go back out again. He's going to go back around again. It's mental how much time you could lose just by making a mistake on one corner.
Oh yeah. Yeah, like even you could lose 3-4 tenths even by making a small mistake in any of the corners. Even especially earlier at Tosa, even just not getting close and tight to that apex and hitting that apex, it can cost you even through the small run into the next corner.
Yeah, because you need to be hitting that apex perfectly to get the perfect run out of that corner to get that uphill climb as fast as you can, and it's the exit is the most important for Tosa. So even if you go right, I'm going to compromise my entry into Tosa for my exit, it'd be much better than the other way around.
Yeah.
So a late apex always works well with Tosa. Not as good as a perfect apex, but the late apex is very good. Much better than an early apex or a no apex like we're getting from a lot of these drivers today. So Let's have a look. Who's next on the list? So we'll see how Scotty Harris does. I know he's on it. See, Scotty Harris on an out lap was not far from that apex. So we've got Dixie Anthony. Let's see how he handles this apex at Tosa. And he's invalidated his lap. So he'll be going around again. But he cradles that corner quite well. We've got Herbo as well. Herbo will be pushing for that corner. But just for our viewers' knowledge, Herbo has had very little practice around there. So we've got Dara speaking in tongues, and Jack Clancy going NRX Dara is washed. Washed out? Maybe. So we have come to the end of Q3. We've got the people there on like last chance lap, so we've got Herbo on the last chance lap. DXC Anthony gave Herbo a tow. Let's see if Herbo can make the improvements. He will be our last driver. Out there, not human, smashes it again with 114.2. Absolutely phenomenal time.
Absolutely insane.
So it'll be quite interesting to see how Herbo does now. Gets himself through. Alta, now down to Vivatsa. Can Herbo get himself closer to the mid-pack? Doesn't make any improvements. So that is the end of qualifying. So let's go, wait for the time screen to go off and we'll go through the order. But that was one hell of a final lap from Non-Human. Put himself on a P1 with a 1:14.2. We have Moyland on 1:14.6 in second and Lewis Debika on a 1:14.9. So your top three are 1, 2, 3 right now, in a different order, obviously. We've got Sesvin on 1:14.9. We've got Johnny Stokes on a 1:14.9. Dixie Anthony on a 1:15.2. Nilmer 1:15.3. Scotty Harris 1:15.5. Hepburn 1:15.6. And Herbert on a 1:15.9. So quite a big difference really between the drivers time-wise. We've had closer races on qualifying in the past, so it's quite interesting to see how well spread it's been.
Yeah, that qualifying session really, I'm thoroughly impressed by Non-Human. Literally, he wasn't even opposed at all. Nobody seemed like a threat to him, and even that last lap, he just cemented his place and took pole, literally levels above the rest of the field.
Yeah, Moyland, who is his closest rival when it comes down to pace, was still 4 tenths behind him.
Yeah, that's like such a massive difference, especially when Moyland, you think Moyland would be a small bit closer seeing his championship, but very, very impressed by Non-Human. Very good lap from him.
Yeah, fantastic qualifying session from Moyland. So we got a very cloudy Imola circuit today, with a good chance of rain at the end. So Wonder what the setups will definitely be for a dry race because it's going to be majorly dry. Sorry, man, get my words out, Gary. Ben, I'll take ninth for the first race in the league. Doubt it will be it will last being the equivalent of George Russell. Well, I'm not too sure, Hepburn. You're faster than Hobo, so yeah, you'll be fine. Hobo seems to be getting results every now and then, so if you're faster than him, then you should be doing all right.
Another thing about Hepburn is he's quite a good Rocket League player actually, from the TTFL game night
Oh yeah.
on Wednesday or Thursday. I do not quite remember, but
Yes, he
yeah,
is. He is. He is
yeah.
indeed. I remember that quite well. Had to wait till right near the end to get in there, but yeah. So we've got our formation up before we start 32 laps of Imola. Yeah, I absolutely love this circuit. I hope it's an F1. I hope it's on the F1 calendar more often in years to come because it's such a great. I know it's back this year, and I think they got a 3-year contract, so we've got 3 seasons with Imola in. But obviously, everybody knows that's all subject to change as and when FIA deem it. Right.
One thing actually, for the 2023 calendar, it was announced about last year that Formula 1 would race at the Russian newly built Igora Drive circuit, and I'm actually not sure if they are going to race there now, because I heard recently they've cancelled the Russian GP contract, but I'm not sure if that's Sochi or if that includes Igora Drive as well.
Which one's Igor Drive?
Igora Drive is it's a new circuit built in St. Petersburg that they're supposed to move to.
Yes, that'll be. I think. It was meant to be Sochi this year, in 2022.
Yeah.
St. Petersburg will be cancelled as well until further notice.
Oh, yeah.
So we've got a few. Oh, what? I think we've got a glitch because we've got a McLaren facing the wrong way. Can you see that?
Yes, I am seeing that. It's Fight Me Now bot, just...
Yeah. I'm on board with him, and his car's facing completely the wrong way.
I'm not sure if that's a...
I think this is it might be a glitch lobby. It's kind of bizarre because also what we've got very, very dark tire marks right in front of a non-human's car as well.
Yeah,
Fight me now.
I'm seeing that.
Fight me now, bot. Has left the session, so his car's just gone. So we will be waiting for this car to do its formation lap because I don't think it actually went anywhere.
But well, there you go. That's quite a classic example of what EA Sports can do to a game franchise.
Right, I've just got a black screen come up saying waiting for players. Have you got the same?
Hold on, an error has occurred at my application just now. We could have a broken
Right.
lobby.
Right, we're off racing because they've just managed to throw me into the race, and we've got Fight Me Now bot whose car is dancing all over that road. But we do have a very glitched lobby.
Yeah, and that's a Ferrari I think I saw there off into the gravel.
Yeah, Dara and Hepburn are both. But
yeah,
is the issue we've got right? They're showing tyre marks on the gravel, which is never normally there. For some reason, Hepburn's car is ghosted. With no wing. So we've got virtual safety cars come out. This is bizarre. Absolutely bizarre. Oh. Right. So virtual safety car out already. So we'll probably have Dara and Hepburn come in for a wing change. I do think there's a server desync as well because some of the drivers are coming up with limited connectivity.
Yeah, very, very puzzling stuff from its opening app. I see there down the bottom, Moyland has left the session,
so it's going to be a restart to lobby.
Yep.
So we'll enjoy the pantomime that is this session right now. So Speedy ramming Dixie Anthony up the bum. Obviously, guys, this is not part of the race. This session is just getting done over. Dara might as well crash himself out on purpose, which he tries to do but can't.
The one time he needs to crash, he can't crash.
There we go. He can't crash himself out, can he? Dixie Anthony's done it. Hydra's go for it. Johnny Strokes, this is the first time Johnny Strokes has ever been in the lead in his life. So he's going to hang on to that. But all these drivers have left. I'm just waiting for the Mrs. Carl up into 6. We're just waiting for this new invite, and we'll jump straight across. So they'll be working on who's where, doing what. So with the new lobby, what will happen is that we'll sit there for a few moments. We'll have the admin working out where everybody is in the stand in the qualifying. and then we'll get that in the same order for the next lobby. Hopefully every driver is able to jump across. Big Salty Seawalker going, I can give you all some questions to pass the time. I think there's a delay to when you see my comments though. That'd be fantastic though. Go on then, Big Salty Seawater, ask away. You can ask absolutely anything. Whether it's general knowledge or just a personal question, what we think. That'd be fantastic. But yeah, hammer away those questions as we do pass the time. He has come up with some fantastic questions in the past. But yeah, let's see what you've got. Would you rather win the constructors or drivers title? For best, what would you say?
For me, I definitely have to go for a driver title.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. So personally, I would have gone for the constructors title, just because that's where the money is. The money is there for in the constructors title, so
Yeah, I can see that as well. Yeah.
Whereas, like, obviously, your driver's title is it's all about personal. It's a personal accolade, so it's about what you've done as a driver, not what your team's done. So, yeah. Right, he's asked the same question before: apple juice or orange juice? I've told you before, it's orange juice. Apple juice tastes like ass.
Exactly. Has to be orange juice.
Cherry or plum? Or cherry or peach? Well, I ain't gonna answer that question. That's very rude. But if you go about taste, I'll definitely go for the cherries. Well, Gamer, if you had the chance to go anywhere in the world, where would you go? That is a hell of a question. Where would you go, Abyss?
Oh, you know, my little motorsport fan mind is racing right now. To be honest, for me, there's so much tracks I want to visit, like Fuji and Le Mans and Monza. But for me, I'd probably go to Le Mans, France for the 24 Hours of Le Mans. I'm a huge endurance racing fan. I'd absolutely love to visit there one day.
That does sound amazing. That really does sound amazing. I've done a 24-hour Silverstone race. Yeah. So I'm still waiting for. Has the invite come through yet? No, still waiting for the invite from Hobo. Personally, right, it's like, right. I'd love to go back to Italy as a racing fan rather than being a drunk person in Germany getting onto the wrong train. That's a hell of a story, by the way. I have to tell you sometime. So yeah, I'd love to do that as a racing fan. I would actually. Imola would be one of those circuits I'd love to go to, or Monza. Absolutely would love to. But then if I want to go, like, I don't want to do that. I want to go. I want to see something in the world. I'd love to go back to Kamchatka. Yeah, I know Russia's not really a place that people want to go to, but on the far eastern side of Russia, there's a little peninsula called the Kamchatka Peninsula. It's absolutely beautiful. Some beautiful scenery, and there's some really nice waterfalls there, and it's just so peaceful. So I would love to do that again. Yeah, so who's winning the TTFL Constructors and Drivers title? Well, it's going to be Moyland, isn't it? In the Mercedes, they're going to be winning it. Ooh, favorite street circuit?
Ooh. For me, to be honest, I'd have to say Monaco. From from watching Monaco, but also driving Monaco. For me, it's one of the toughest tracks in the world. Even though the racing might not be great there, it's an absolute beauty, and the amount of history it has is absolutely insane. So I'd have to go for Monaco.
Right. Okay. See, I absolutely love Monaco. I think that you've got a really good shot with Monaco. It's a great circuit. Now, argue with me if you want, but the best street circuit is Canada. People might not believe that Canada is a street circuit, but it actually is. No, it's not a street circuit. It's purpose built. It's actually not. It's actually racing around the park. It's Albert Park that you're racing around. So, yeah, that's my choice of street circuit. Well, gamer, if you had to pick one celebrity to meet, who would it be? I've got two answers for that. I've got right at this moment answer and my lifetime answer. My lifetime answer, I'd love to meet Jenson Button. There's so many questions I want to ask the guy about his transition from Honda to Braun to McLaren. The guy's gone through a lot of changes and he's sacrificed a lot, and I want to know what was going through his mind when he made those changes. What about yourself, Abyss? Which celebrity would you like to meet?
That's a very good one, actually. Button. He's honestly such a down-to-earth guy, and as he said, there's so much stuff you could ask him about it. But from me, I'm not quite sure whether to pick maybe a newer driver or an older driver. I'd absolutely love to see maybe the perspective of Prost, maybe fighting Senna, and even being involved now modernly. Well, not anymore, obviously, since he left a few weeks ago, but being involved with the Renault team. Yeah, I'd love to hear his accounts of his career and what he's done in motorsport.
Yeah, absolutely. But I'm not getting into this session. Are you in the session?
I'm in. Yeah, I am.
Every time it says join in, just put please wait. Now I know it's not my system. Right.
Sent you another invite. Big Salty Seawater said restart the game. Even if you could see if that helps.
Right.